Hello, everyone. It is Monday. We're on Zoom, and we are going to be working the inner and outer thighs. So we'll start with an inner thigh massage. I'd like you to sit down on the ground, or if you have a pillow or a block, it could be useful to sit on the pillow or block. It depends on how your low back feels. And I'm just going to grab my block here. So we'll sit down with the hips on the block or on the pillow. And you'll simply lift for the moment your right knee up in front of you. Take your hands, place them at the inside of the thigh, just above the knee, and you'll just softly squeeze, moving up towards the groin and then moving back down again. Just simply squeeze with both hands. Move up and down about 3 times. Now, this can be very effective in relaxing those adductor muscles, or the muscles of the inner thigh. And after going up and down 3 times, you'll lift the leg in front of you, take the palm of your left hand and rub up and down. As you rub up and down, maybe you want to come to close to the front of the leg, and then rub up and down and go close to the back of the leg. That gets the expanse of the adductor muscles. As I mentioned, there are 6. So there are quite a few, and we want to get all of those adductor muscles massaged. This helps to move the circulation in there of lymph, interstitial liquid, and of course, blood. Now, after you've massaged, allow your feet to come together, soles of the feet together, and with the leg that you've massaged, I want you to lift it up and down. Just softly up and down. Good. This movement doesn't contract all of the adductor muscles, but it does contract some. And here we're just mobilizing a little bit into the hip. Perfect. All right. Bring that right knee down, lift your left knee up in front of you, and we'll use both hands, and you'll squeeze from the knee, close to the knee, squeeze and move down towards the inner thigh, really towards the groin, and squeeze and move back up. Take your time with this. Take deep breaths as well. This should feel pretty good. You don't need to squeeze the skin. If you're squeezing and pinching the skin, it might be a bit painful. So you really want to get the muscles. Up and down 3 times. And once you finish, take the palm of the right hand and rub up and down on the inner thigh. This is really helping to release some of the muscles there. And maybe you want to go close to the top of the thigh, and then also close to the back of the thigh. Increasing circulation, increasing awareness of the muscles, and helping the fascia. Okay, now let's bring both soles of the feet together. Same thing, but with the left knee. Lift and lower. And you may want to pay attention, because if there is something that's uncomfortable, you need to perhaps get it checked out, especially if it's at the knee, okay? Because the knees are so sensitive, and you really want to make sure that you keep your knees healthy. All right. Lift both knees up. Let's bring the block or the pillow to the side. We won't be needing it anymore, so you can push it off to the side. Come up onto your hands and knees. Hands can be underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We'll take a deep breath in and curl the spine, looking skyward. And then we'll breathe out and round, look to the belly button. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And again, let's breathe in, breathing out. One more time, let's breathe in and out. Now, of course, you keep constant breath, ideally only breathing in and out through the nose. Turn your head to look towards your right hip as we're stimulating the neck and the vestibular system. Turn your head, look towards the left hip. Now swing your hips along with the movement. Right hip goes to the right, look at your right hip. And then left hip goes to the left, look at your left hip. Good, one more time each side. We look at the right and the left. Coming back to center, keep the hands and the knees as they are. And now we're going to be making a movement that's a bit of a freedom movement. So you're going to shift your weight to your right hand, your right knee, and allow your back to come, your chest towards the floor, and then come back up, and we shift the weight to the right again. Bring the chest towards the floor, face towards the floor, shift to the left, and then up and around. Do this a couple of times. Just moving through your body. Allow yourself to get expressive with this movement. Should really feel good in the hips, the shoulders, the rib cage, the back. And then release, and we'll change directions. Go to the left and sink down, move around. You may also feel some movement and mobilization in the wrists, which can be good for your wrists. One more time. All right, coming back to center. Open your knees nice and wide. Keep your toes together. Sink back onto your heels and walk your hands forward. Lower the forehead to the floor. And stay here and breathe. We really want the inner thighs stretching out, the hips stretching out. Take some deep, slow breaths. And you may feel also the low back as well as the outsides of the glutes. Looking forward, lift up onto your hands and knees, tucking the toes under. Let's rise to downward facing dog. And begin pedaling your feet right and left. Letting the heels move downwards towards the floor. The toes stay open. The hips move. The feet move. Let your body twist a little bit as you move. All right. Let's come to a down dog, a normal down dog, and move softly into a plank position. Shoulders come over the hands, belly is in, and you lift your head. Press back to down dog. So here we're sparking some energy into the core muscles. Breathe in, move into plank, lifting the head, stay strong. Breathe out, push back. And again, breathing in, move into plank. Breathe out to down dog. One more time, breathing in, moving into plank. Softly lower your knees, softly lower your chest to the earth. And relax here for a moment. Bring your hands underneath your forehead and move the hips from side to side. Really just relax through the back, relax through the hips and legs. Now lift your head, chest and shoulders, and raise your right leg up, engaging, contracting through the back. Lower it down. Lift your left leg up now. Lower it down, hands under the shoulders, and push up onto the hands and knees. Get a side body stretch by walking your hands off the right-hand side of the mat. Push your hips back. Lifting back up, let's change sides. So we're still in the mobilization part of class. We're warming up. We're getting the joints prepared. Come back onto the mat. Tucking the toes under, come back to your downward facing dog. And now looking towards your hands, begin stepping your feet forward, slowly and gently. As you make it forward to the front edge of your mat, your palms will lift, your fingertips touch the floor. Bend your knees now, set your hands to your thighs, lift up into a chair position, so you're helping the low back to lift. We stay in chair, and twist to your right. Right hand onto the right hip, left hand onto the right knee. Turn and look over the shoulder towards the sky. Yes. Coming back, hands come back to the thighs, and we change. Left hand to the hip, twist, look over the shoulder, and we hold. Good. Coming back to center, lift all the way up to a standing position, and find your perfect posture now. The feet are hip width. Check that your toes are open and pressing into the earth. The legs are soft. That's it. Knees are soft. Hips are back just slightly so that you have softness in the low back. There's a nice curve in the low back. We need that. And the ribs are lifting away from your hips. The shoulders open wide to the sides. And the head and the chin are parallel to the floor. Getting into this position may take a little bit of conscious effort, but each time in between one of our sun salutations, we will come back to this position. So be sure you get it right in the beginning. All right, hands come to our heart center. And let's take a deep breath in, raise the arms. As you fold forward, bend at the knees, the elbows come towards the knees, the hips go back, and set your fingertips on the floor. Send your legs back into plank, one leg at a time. Take a strong plank position, head lifted, belly in. Softly lower your knees to the earth, and everyone, we're going to do one push-up. So the chest comes forward, elbows come alongside the body, and you push back up. Then lower yourself down, pointing your toes, lengthen your legs behind you. Draw your shoulders wide and rise to a cobra position. Bring your chest back down, push up onto the hands and knees, and take a downward facing dog. Now, in down dog, raise your right leg up. And we're going to do 5 circles. So bring the knee towards the chest, shoulder, around out to the side, and back up behind you. 5 times. Take your time with it, warming up the hip, warming up the muscles, getting the glutes firing as well. Nice big circles with the knee. Last one. Now swing the knee forward, swing the foot forward, stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands to your thighs. Lift your chest only. Now we're in chair. The knees should be about hip width apart. So you could fit 2 fists between your knees. Be sure you are not squeezing your knees together. Doing that fires those inner thigh muscles. We want to keep the knees apart. And I believe that when we sit at our desks and people have their knees together, that's why the inner thighs are so much stronger than the outer thighs, because there's an imbalance there. Hands go to the thighs. And we're going to bounce here. Just keep your hands at your thighs today. 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up to standing, arms stretched by your sides. Perfect. Hands to heart center. We're going to go again. Deep breath in, rise. Folding forward, elbows come to knees. We set the hands down and we step back to a plank position. Lower your knees softly. Here we go for a push-up. Go down as far as possible and push back up. Just one is fine. Move down to the floor. Point your toes, lengthening your legs. Rise up to cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees first, and then take your downward facing dog. Left leg lifts this time. Bring it up and do those 5 circles. 5, nice big circles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the leg up behind you. Now swing it forward. stepping the rest of the way forward, hands to thighs, coming up into chair. Keep the knees apart, very important. We'll bounce here with the hands on the thighs. 3, 2, 1. Refine your perfect posture. A little bit faster now, ladies. Hands to heart center. Breath in, let's rise. Folding forward, go for it. Stepping back to your plank, that's great. Lower the knees softly and do 1 push-up. Very soft. Yeah, good. All the way down, point your toes, rising to a cobra. Push back. Yes, good. Raise your right knee and do those 5 circles. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, excellent. 1, lift the leg up behind you, fire the glute as you lift the leg up, good. And swing it forward, coming forward, check that your knees are apart, everyone. Knees are apart, and bounce here, hands on the thighs. 3, good. 2, excellent. 1, up to standing. Hands to heart center, rise, deep breath in. And folding, good. Stepping back, excellent. 1 push up. Moving down to the floor and take the cobra. That's amazing. Push back, down dog. All right, lift your left leg up and circle. 5, yes, good. 4, 3, 2, perfect. 1, lift the leg up high behind you and then swing it forward. Stepping forward, get into the chair, hands on the thighs. Here we go, just bouncing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, up to perfect posture. We're gonna start stimulating the inner and outer thighs a little bit more. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, let's rise. We'll fold. Stepping back to plank. Lowering the knees, lower yourself down to cobra. And now down dog. From down dog, raise your right leg parallel to the floor and bring it out to your right as far as possible to the right. Take a deep breath in, slide it under your body, kicking it to the left, and then back out to the right. 5 times, here we go. Kick it under, 4. If you can keep it off the floor, great. 3. If you have to touch the floor, no big deal. 2. Here's the last one. 1. Whew. Swing the leg up behind you. Go as far forward as possible with the right foot. Spin your left heel down, okay? We don't take these very often, but this is warrior 2. Set your right hand onto the thigh. Lift your left arm and circle it into warrior 2. Okay. Stretch your right arm out in front of you. Feel like your legs are turning out. So this is going to affect the inner thighs. This is getting the inner thighs turning out. Allow your hips to move back. Stretch your arms. Reverse your warrior. And then move back down again into a plank position. So we haven't done this type of power yoga warm up in a long time, but it's about time, huh? Knees come down, 1 push up, very slow and controlled. All the way down. Point your toes, rise up to a cobra, and push back to down dog. All right, left leg, lift it up behind you straight, swing it out to your left, and kick it under the body towards the right. 5 times. Out to the side, under. 4. Woohoo! 3. Stay strong. 2. And 1. Bring it up behind you. Swing it as far forward as possible. Turn your right heel down. Set your left hand on the thigh to help your back up. Taking a warrior 2 position. Open your legs, let your hips go back. Let's reverse, go back. Hold for a moment. Yes, and then move back down to a plank position. Knees come down, one push up. All the way down, point your toes, rise to a cobra. And down dog. Okay. Looking towards your hands, begin stepping forward, step by step. Now here, we'll bend our knees. Remember, as before, we take a chair, space between the knees. This time, hands go to the outsides of the knees. Here's where we're really going to stimulate the outer thighs. Push your knees against your hands and resist. Sink down. 3, just resist with the hands. 2, pushing the knees out to the sides. 1, up to standing, arms stretched by your sides. That's beautiful. One more round. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Fold forward. Stepping back to plank. Knees come down, we do 1 push-up. Moving all the way to the earth, point your toes, rise to cobra. Down dog. This time we'll start with the left leg. Raise your left leg, bring it out to the side. Swing it under, kicking underneath. 5 times. 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise the leg behind you. Swing it forward. Spin the right heel down. Help yourself up for warrior 2. Good. Stretching those inner thighs. Reverse the warrior. Hold. Good. Then we move down. Plank position. Last push up. Let's go. Down and up. All the way down. Cobra. Down dog. Left leg, lift it behind you, bring it out to the right. Kick it under, to your left, 5 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg behind you, swing the leg forward, spin the left heel down, rise up, warrior 2. Reverse and hold, stretching the inner thighs. Back into a plank position. I lied before. This one is the last push-up. Just 1 more, ladies. Let's go. Down and up. All the way down. Point your toes to cobra. Down dog. Stepping your feet forward. Slowly, slowly make your way to the front edge of the mat. Knees bend, hands to the outsides of the knees. Lift your chest into chair. Push with your knees out to the sides into your hands and bounce here. 3, 2, 1. Coming up to standing. Good. Set your hands at your heart center. If you'd like, you can close your eyes. Allow your heart rate to come down, to calm itself down. Yes, find your equilibrium. Nice. Release the arms down by your sides. Going to do some standing balancing postures. Getting yourself ready. Feet a little bit closer, hands to hips. Bend your right knee, bring it out to the side. So you open up the inner thigh. You could be at the ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Lift your arms in a V position for tree pose. Holding here, 3, 2, 1. Bring your arms by your sides. Palms will face the floor. Now we're going to be working those outer thighs. So we're going to turn the foot to point back behind us and stretch the leg out behind us like an arabesque. You can let the knee open. Fold forward a little bit. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands all the way to the floor. Bend your standing leg as much as possible. Raise the right leg high. Now cross the right leg behind the left in a deep squat, looking forward, being careful not to push your standing knee too far forward. We squat down 5 and lift. 4, lift. 3, lifting. 2, 1, hold it here. For those of you who have knee issues, send your right leg back and just bring the knee down into this kind of lunge position. For those of you who are okay in the knee, squat down and come sitting down in a cross-legged position where we're going to do a spinal twist. So for those of you who are sitting down for the spinal twist, grab the left knee, turn and look behind you. For those of you who are in the lunge position where the legs are 90-90, protecting the knees, you simply twist in this position. Both positions are excellent, very good. Turn your head to look behind you and hold. 3, 2, 1. Unwind. For those of you in the 90-90, bring your hands down and simply set your knee down. For those of you who are in the full twist position, uncross, push up, and we all end up on our hands and knees. Take a deep breath in, curl the spine. Breathe out and round. And again, breathing in, breathing out. Once more, let's breathe in and out. Come back to neutral spine. Walk your knees back, tucking your toes under. Rise to downward facing dog. And begin stepping your feet forward till you reach the front edge of your mat. Separate your feet, hands to the outsides of the knees, lift the chest, and we bounce. Just like before, you press against the knees, push your knees out towards your hands. 3, 2, and 1. All the way up to standing. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Hands to your hips. Bend your left knee. Bring it out to the side. So we first take a tree pose. Either at your ankle, higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Raise your arms in a V, set your gaze at one point and hold. Bring your arms by your sides, palms face the floor, and like an arabesque in ballet, you're going to release the foot, point it behind you, and send the leg behind you, go as far as possible. And once you're at your maximum, you hold. Let the hip open. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Hands come to the floor. Raise the left leg high. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Cross the leg behind the other. 5 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can either send the foot back, come into 90-90 with the legs and get into the twist, or bring that knee next to the foot, come seated on the hip, and take a full twist here. Deep breaths. Choose what's best for you and for your knees. We want to protect the knees, and protecting them helps them to get stronger as well. Good. 3, 2, 1. From whatever posture you're in, release and come up onto the hands and knees. Cat and cow. Deep breath in, curling,
Breathe out and round. Ooh. And again, making nice movements for the spine, for the hips and the shoulders. Once more. Walk your knees back, taking downward facing dog. And softly walk your feet forward, take your time. Feet at hip width, hands to the outsides of the knees, lift the chest, push the knees into the hands, and we bounce 3, 2, 1. All the way up to standing and release. Hands to hips, last balancing posture. Knees are soft, hips go back. Set your right foot on top of the left thigh. Bring your hands to your heart center. It's infinity pose. Thumbs to the crown of the head, elbows point forward and up, lift your chin, and we'll hold. Take deep, slow breaths. Your standing leg may move, that's fine. It's adjusting to hold. And release, arms by your sides, legs released, knees soft. Hands to your hips, we'll do the other side. Bend the knees, hips go back. Lift your left foot, place it on top of the right thigh. Hands to heart center, then to the crown of the head. Point the elbows up, begin leaning back, looking skyward. Deep breaths. Focus your gaze on one point. Staying calm. And release. Beautiful. Very good, everyone. Whew. Hands to heart center. We're going to move to the floor. Deep breath in. Folding forward. Stepping back to plank. Hold for a moment in plank. Pull the belly in. Pull the perineum up. Squeeze the thighs tight. Squeeze the glutes tight. It's like the skin is moving towards the muscle, moving towards the bone. You want to hug everything inwards towards your bones. Keep breathing through the chest and the ribs. 2 more deep breaths. And 1. Good. Lower your knees, lower the chest. Hands underneath the forehead and move the hips from side to side to relax and let go. Good job. All right. Just as we did in the warm-up and in the beginning of class, you could lift your head or have your hands on your head on your hands. We'll raise the right leg and we hold here. Lower the right leg and move the hips once again. Good. Changing sides. Raise your left leg as high as possible. Lower the left leg and move your hips from side to side. Lifting the head, bring your hands around behind you. Clasp the hands and stretch the arms as straight as possible. Head, chest, shoulders lift, arms lift. Lift both legs and stay here. Deep breaths. Set your gaze at one point. Release down, hands under the shoulders, push up onto the hands and knees. Bring your knees to one side and turn so that you turn towards your device, towards the video. Bring your head down onto one arm so you're supporting your neck. The top arm comes in front of you, fingertips on the floor. Stretch your top leg straight.
and turn the toes down. This is where we're working the outside of the leg, outer glute, as well as the IT band. Let's raise the leg and pulse here. 10, 9, 8. Keep breathing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg up and we'll press now with the heel. 10, 9, 8. That's it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the leg up here. 1. Stay there. Lift a little higher. It should start to burn. You should feel the work. Lift a little higher. Good. Bring the leg down. Bend the knees. Yeah. Lift up from the side.
Take that top leg that you just worked, cross it over the bottom leg, and we'll twist. You could have the bottom knee bent or straight, as you wish. Twist towards the hip that you just worked. Get a short release. Unwinding, change sides. Bend the knees, bring yourself down on the opposite side. Straighten the top leg, toes pointing down. We're going to start working that exterior glute. It's glute medius. One hand in front of you. Toes are turned down. Let's raise the leg. 10, little pulses. 9, 8, keep breathing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, that's great. 2, 1, hold the leg up, hold it up, toes pointing down. Here we go, we pulse and push. 10, 9, pushing the wall. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg up as high as possible. See if you can get a little higher, holding. Even a little higher, holding. And release, bring the leg down. Good job, lift from the side. Crossing that top leg over the bottom, twist towards the hip, one hand behind you, little spinal twist to release. And allow yourself to unwind. Uncross both legs, grabbing behind the thighs, let's roll down onto our backs. Ah, that feels good. Now, we're in a bridge position, getting ready for bridge. We're going to do 2 types of bridges today. First is going to be working the perineum. The second is going to be working the outer thighs in frog bridge. So arms are down on the floor. Open your chest so your shoulders push back towards the floor. Lift your hips up, but not very high. As you breathe out, squeeze the knees together. This is going to help to lift the perineum and to squeeze the muscles of the perineum together. So breathe out and lift. Breathe in and open. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in and open. And again, breathing out. Breathing in. Another 5. 4. Really make it strong. Make it count. There are not many of these. 3. 2. And here's the last one. Lower the hips down. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Frog bridge. In frog bridge, you've got a stretch of the inner thighs and a contraction of all these deep muscles in the glutes. So press your feet together and lift your hips up. And here we go, we're gonna press upwards. 10, squeeze. 9, squeeze the glutes tight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips. Now lift your knees and we'll take our yogic bridge. So actually it's 3 bridges. Elbows into the floor. Push the elbows down to lift the chest a bit.
and raise your hips as high as possible, or as high as is comfortable for you. Lengthen your neck, take some deep, slow breaths. Raise your arms over your head and lower your spine one vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly, very slowly. And once the back is all the way on the floor, open your knees wide as your mat. Your feet are as wide as the mat. Let your knees fall to the right. Stretch both arms far behind you. Again, taking deep, slow breaths. One knee at a time. We raise the knees and let your knees go to your left. Arms far, far behind you, deep breaths. One knee at a time, raising. And lift your knees, squeeze them to the chest, and rock from side to side. So you relax your low back, you're letting go of any tension buildup. Okay. Set your left foot onto the floor and stretch your right leg to the sky, making a big circle with the right foot to release any tension in the ankle. And we'll change the direction of the circle. Flex your foot nicely and softly pull the leg towards you. Pull it towards you. Hold and breathe. Once you've got a good position, just stay. Maybe you want to go a little bit farther if you feel some release and you feel it letting go a bit. You can get even a deeper stretch. Then grabbing either the bottom of the foot or the inside of the ankle or the inside of the knee, whichever works for you. We're going to let the right leg fall out towards the right. The left arm goes towards the left, and the left knee sort of balances us out so we don't roll on our side. So getting that deep inner thigh stretch, and we hold here. This one is super nice because it's supporting the back. Rather than that large straddle stretch when we're sitting and we've got our legs out to the side, this one with just one leg out and lying on our backs, the backs basically don't risk anything because there's no strain. There shouldn't be any strain. Rebend the knee and cross the ankle over the left thigh. Lifting both knees up towards the shoulders, pull them in, and you should feel a kind of a different stretch into the hip. Bring the left knee down. Let's take a full spinal twist. So the knees go to your left, your arm goes out to the right, and this gets you also into the shoulder, as well as the chest, the belly, the hip, and the knee, and the IT band. Let's raise the right arm, rolling onto your left-hand side completely. Left arm under the head. Grab your right ankle and push the knee behind you, hip forward. Bring the right knee back up towards the right shoulder and softly roll onto your back. Good. Keeping the knees bent, raise your left leg this time. Grab behind the thigh, big circle with the foot. Changing the direction of the circle. Flex your foot and straighten your leg as much as possible, pulling the leg towards you. Get that deep stretch down the back of the thigh. Grabbing either the bottom of the foot, the inside of the bottom of the foot, or the ankle, the calf, or the knee. Open your left leg out to the side. Your right arm goes out to the side to balance, and your right knee opens as well to balance. This also places a little bit of a stretch on the inner thighs of both legs. Stay on your back and breathe here. Rebend the left knee and cross the left ankle over the right thigh, pulling the knees in towards the chest. Or stretch into the hip and the glute of the left leg. Bring the right foot to the floor and allow your knees to fall to your right. Your left arm reaches out, so now you've got that spinal twist and going into the shoulder and the chest. Rolling all the way onto your right hand side, right arm under the head to support. Grab your left ankle, push the knee behind you, hip forward. Deep breathing. Bring the left knee towards the left shoulder now, and let's roll onto our backs. Soles of the feet together, knees wide, grabbing around the feet. Pull the feet towards you and open your knees with your elbows, opening them out to the side for a final inner thigh stretch. Let's release, bringing the knees together, 1 foot at a time, down onto the floor. Stretch your legs onto the floor and set your hands onto your tummy. As you breathe in, allow the upper belly to rise and expand. Be sure that the lower belly stays firm, that there's no expansion all the way down here. You want to keep this part, the perineum and the perineal bowl, strong. So no pressing down. Just let the upper belly rise and expand and release. Now let's breathe in a deep, deep breath in. Hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out and breathe naturally and normally. Again, breathe in deeply into the abdomen and hold your breath in, this time for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe everything out. Good job. These breath holds help to calm the nervous system. And they raise the amount of oxygen uptake that you can do in the body. So we'll do it one more time. Take a deep, slow breath in. Hold the breath in the body. This time for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Breathe everything out. And begin relaxing your feet and your legs. Relax your hands and your arms. Relaxing, letting go of the hips and the shoulders. Relax your back, from your upper back to your lower back. Relax the belly and the chest. Neck, throat, and your jaw. Relax all the muscles in your face and the skin. Let it soften and become smooth. Now take a moment to think of all the good things that have already happened today, from the moment you woke up until this moment. If you smiled, if you laughed, your good thoughts, your good emotions. Sometimes negative emotions are always available. But how often do we notice the good things? When we notice the good and positive, we realize that we have so much to be grateful for. Bring your awareness back to your position on your mat. And begin again to breathe more deeply, slowly. And begin moving your fingers and your toes. Moving your hands and your feet. Raising your arms up over your head, stretch from fingers to toes. And then softly lift your knees up to your chest and squeeze the knees to the chest. Rocking a bit from side to side. Right arm to the right ear. And roll all the way to your right hand side. Both hands go into the floor and you push down to lift from the side, coming to a seated position. That's it. Very nice. Good. Let's rub our hands together. Heating up the hands. Bring your hands over your face, just softly caressing the face, and tap around your eyes. Shake out. And this time we're going to rub our hands together and we're going to do a little pressure point therapy. So start with your index fingers and you'll press just around the bridge of the nose, press inward softly. And then you'll bring them down to just where your nostrils start on either side of the nose, press inward softly. And then just above your lips, it's going to be against your gums, above the upper teeth. Press in softly. And then just below the lower teeth, press in softly. And shake out. Good. So this is good for the sinuses, and if you're getting sniffly and colds, these are really nice pressure points to help release the sinuses and help with throat ache as well. Hands to your heart center. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. Namaste. And thanks for joining. Take care.